All right, hey everybody. So this time we're going to take a look at the axle size versus distance lab. As always, again, we're not doing the real life one, but what you can kind of see here is right here. This is what would be considered a small axle, and then there's a spool that's been added right here to make a larger axle. Okay, and so you're going to have the ability within the website to change the size of this axle as well, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so again, do remember sometimes the partial credit scoring is on. I think you guys are pretty good that you don't need it on ones like this, but a lot of the longer type style questions will have that, or if there's something I really want to make sure that you understand, I'll turn on the partial credit. You will not be doing a data table on a separate sheet, again, because we're not actually doing this one in real life in the hallway like I normally would. So you'll skip down to question number 5, really, to do this one. I'm going to just show you how to set this one up online so you can change the axle size. So you'll log in to your mousetrap card. Your group ID is still HDY. And then it's just the engineering tab. Once there, turn on all these eyes once it loads up so that you can see what it actually looks like. So we're going to look at this axle back here. So the one that you want to open up in terms of being able to change things is this rear assembly. So you're going to hit that wrench right there. Now really the only thing that you're going to need to be able to change or want to change is going to be a spool. You'll notice when I change the spool to these different items here, what gets added as soon as I click apply is you'll notice a spool added right there. So instead of the string wrapping around this smaller axle, it's going to wrap around this larger axle that we can see here. So there's a spool that's been added. So the string usually will wrap around the smaller axle as the mousetrap pulls it forward. But when you add that spool to it, what that means is it's going to wrap around this larger axle. Okay. So when I hit reset, you're going to notice that that disappears. That would be wrapped around a smaller axle. So in this first one, we're just going to look at distance. To do that, like before, you're just going to click on performance right here. And we want to know the distance before it starts to coast, not the total distance. So remember, that's going to be right here. So my stock, we want it to go 5 meters, of course, total. Okay. But before coasting is right where that red meets the green line. So this is when it's unwinding. The mousetrap is unwinding and it's propelling it forward. Okay, just like if you're pedaling a bike. As soon as you start coasting, you stop pedaling. In other words, the mousetrap stops pulling it forward, and that's going to be this red section here. So it continues to move, of course, it coasts, but that's the red section. We want to know how far does it travel, with pedaling, or in this case, with the mousetrap powering it forward. And so right now it's about 3.6 meters is going to be the distance right here that it travels. And it did that, of course, in 2.1 seconds. Now you can change it over here. You'll go over here to the spool. You'll click one of these that you want to change it to. Okay, I just did the first one. And that will then change the size. You just click apply, and then again, you'll kind of look down here. So I'm going to let you do that and figure out what it does to the distance, not the speed, but rather the distance. So that's where we're going to kind of look at. Now, the thing to kind of keep in mind that as you move to figuring out that answer is really pretty easy. So once you have that done, you should be able to just say, hey, which one went farther? Boom, boom, and it'll give you the point. Okay. Then number 4 and 5, of course, is worth 0 points because we can't actually do this part in the class. And I'm actually going to make I'm going to keep number 6 there, but I have this partial credit on, so you're able to kind of figure that out. So what ends up happening as you think about is, well, which one is going to turn the wheel more as it winds up? And which one turns it less? Smaller axle, part A, which one turns the wheel more or less? Then which would unwind or more? cause it to go more before coasting, which should match up with your results. Okay, and it's just doing your conclusion down here. Now the bigger item really is going to be, okay, now I got that done, it's submitted, it's pretty easy score, pretty fast to figure out. Really the harder part is now that you're within here, again, start thinking about, well, what do you want it to do? You want it to go a distance before 5 meters. That's going to be the distance for our item. So which spool size or axle size is going to be best? You can also kind of mess around with some of these other things. They will affect some of the other things that we've done in the past, like friction. Well, is there going to be a difference in, you can change the wheel size, which is going to affect things. So the CDs, of course, are going to be much different. Let's get this out of the way. But I would keep that open normally. To start looking at other items. So this is the stock car. The stock car is not made to be that great. So you're going to notice then if you change your wheel size, that's kind of like changing your axle size. It really has to do with the ratio of the wheel to the axle, which we'll watch a video on tomorrow to help you understand that a little bit too. So kind of go in there and figure out, what are some best ways to do this. Don't forget about some of the other labs that we've done, making sure it has rubber bands and those types of things too.